I'm Pastor Frank Espegren. I've been at St. John's for over 10 years now. First coming as the associate pastor and the senior pastor at St. John's for about 4.5, 5 years. Well, I was raised in the Lutheran tradition. We were at Advent Lutheran Church over in Citrus Heights. I was baptized, confirmed there. My mom was an amazing person. She had difficulty with pregnancies, babies that didn't make it, and then my brother John with a Down syndrome. And so in my family, there were high expectations, but there was also a realization that life isn't perfect. John was a reminder of how even imperfect life is amazing and beautiful. My dad was raised in the Depression, and so when I started exploring the idea of becoming a lawyer, he was very supportive of that. And I went to law school and finished in 1985, came back to Sacramento, was a practicing attorney for 10 years. But I really couldn't get rid of that idea of being a pastor. Rhonda and I have a son who's 29. Not many people at St. John's know Dylan because he was kind of all grown up by the time I got to St. John's. But many of the people at St. John's know Christina, who benefited by being a part of the youth group here, loved St. John's. She was the first person to kind of lead Cafe Rwanda. Rhonda married an attorney, not a pastor, I say. She was a news reporter, a TV news reporter, and I started talking about a big transition from being a lawyer to a pastor meant 4 years of school. She did say, would you please wait until we get our youngest into kindergarten? So my teaching parish was St. John's. The seminary is a 4-year program, and one of those years is an internship year. I did that my last year. I had to find my own supervisor for my internship, and so I heard of this fellow named Pastor Dave Mullen, and he had a really fine reputation at a church, Calvary Lutheran Church in Rio Linda. I interviewed with him, and he has been my mentor for not only during my years in seminary, but my entire career now. My home congregation where I was baptized and confirmed, Advent Lutheran Church in Citrus Heights, called me as an associate pastor working with Pastor Ray Olson. Very unusual experience to be baptized, confirmed, ordained, and then installed at your home congregation. I always say that my worst day as a pastor has been better than my best day as an attorney. The most joyful part is to be present with families and a wonderful staff, incredible council leaders, and we do this work together. And so that for me, the joy of it is to kind of lead an organization like St. John's forward, living God's love in the world in a way that makes a big difference today. St. John's has exquisite worship, 8, 9, and 11:30. They're all beautiful. Our director of worship and music, Stephen Johnson, is a gift to the entire church. Sometimes I wish you would be all up in the chairs where I sit when the congregation is really getting into singing a hymn. It feels like you're all just like 250 of you are just singing right directly at me, and I wish you could hear what that sounds like. It's an amazing thing. So if I was going to speak at all for all of the amazing pastoral leadership that has been in this congregation, it would be this. Every generation that lives out the faith here at St. John's is crucial. There's no era where we can relax. The rest of the city is watching us and needs us to show what life following Jesus looks like, this kind of beautiful life of faith, of courage, of gratitude and service. Thank you for asking that question about whether my father, who was very excited to have an attorney son, would be proud of me. My dad also spent a life in the church. He honored and respected strong pastoral leadership. I think he would be proud that his son, has decided that this is the right profession and the right way to make a difference. I think I operate every day now knowing that my dad would be proud of me.